No need to worry. No need to worry. Tomorrow is here. And this is part 16. Interview with a vampire, Rich B, and Senora M. Zaire Namtar edition. Okay, where I left off at. Oh yeah. Oh, I was telling you guys that the Zaire Namtar had a rival line that was born out their family. And they posed as oracles, spiritual advisors, and all type of occult fakes. So they have roughly around 333. Interesting, 333. That's actually my number if you guys didn't know that. I actually pray at 3:33 a.m. every night. Or every morning, I mean. I be noticing little things aren't coincidence, so just pay attention, guys. Back to the story. So around 333 secret societies that protect the Zayim Namtar and know their secret. They're all over the world, US, Europe, Africa, Caribbeans, all over, even Iceland. So go ahead and head over to Rich's page. He lists all of them. I'm not going to be listing them. This is just a recap. If you guys want to hear the full story, go to my boy's page. But yes, societies all over. There's in Japan. We got one in the Midwest over here in America. Even one in Miami. And they did a damn good job. Hiding them in myth and lore? Mwah. Chef's kiss. That's the best way to hide something in plain sight. But now, everything is changing. The veil is lifting. We're learning more and more every day. Collective consciousness is rising. So let's make this clear. The Zayim Namtar, like Senora M, they are not demons. And I love the fact that he said that. Because y'all are quick to write in the comments, demons, 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 demons. And no one did their research. I'm going to call a spade a spade. So if somebody is seeming a little bit more demonic, I'm going to call it demonic. But what about him seemed demonic this whole time, this whole story we've been telling you guys? We're damn near savages compared to him. And I already told y'all, they are the least we need to be afraid of. There's a lot more going on in this world. A lot more that bump in the night. A lot more hide in the shadows. So taking that he's not a demon, he's not immortal either. I've always told you guys in my other videos, nothing lives forever. Everybody ages, but differently. They age slower. Senora M was not there for Sodom and Gomorrah. He's of the offspring, of the bloodline, born into the covenant. So again, please go back to Rich page to get the details on that. I believe they could live up to maybe 500 years or so, but definitely not forever. Like, can a tree live forever? No, but it can live for a very long time. And time is all related. Time is just such a finicky thing. That's another conversation for another time. No pun intended. So he's said to be a good-looking Italian man, late 40s, early 50s, very sophisticated, very proper, clean, and speaks beautifully. All right, guys, before the video gets too long, follow me to the next part. If you love content like this, creepy, paranormal, supernatural, or even cryptic, go ahead and engage from the bottom up, repost. Even if you don't repost, just save the link. Save, comment, like, and follow, because I know you didn't do that already. I'm Cube of the Lore. This is Forbidden Lore. And as always, TikTok, this is all hypothetically and allegedly speaking. I don't know nothing. All right, y'all, I'm going to call y'all back because it's about to get weird. All right, guys, part 17. Rich B and Senora M. Interview with a vampire? Nah. Zaire Namtar. So where I left off. Oh yeah, I told you guys that Senora M is unfortunately not immortal. I know you guys were hoping so. I know you guys were hoping to get bit and to be turned into a vampire. It's not happening. I told you guys long ago, get over that. And it's so funny because Senora M is basically saying everything I've been telling you guys. If you're not of the bloodline, it's not happening. Get over it. Those of you that know, understand what I'm saying. And those of you don't, you don't. But go back in my videos. I have tons and tons of videos. Yeah, so like I said before, everything ages just differently. Just like trees can live for a very long time, and a mosquito has a different kind of lifespan. Everything has a different kind of lifespan. Time is different here. It's relative. It's also fake. They have manipulated time many times, even those calendars. So truly, we really don't know what year, time, and date it is, because they done changed that and lied to us about that too. So none of us know what's really going on. I heard in different parts of the world, it's a different year. And we all obviously know New Year's is not during the winter time, in the winter solstice. April Fools, y'all are April Fools, because April is when the New Year starts. Spring, new life, new year. But hey, that's another video for another time. I'm not gonna put you guys down that rabbit hole too. So yes, a very well-dressed Italian man, very well-spoken, very respectable, speaks very well, but speaks very old. You guys have noticed that? Everything that man speak is poetry. You guys got me dying laughing in the comments, talking about Senor M got bars. Y'all are silly. I'm sure Senor M could probably write a song, or maybe he has already in history. Who knows? I'm thinking smash hit record. So I'm seeing Senor M like a James Bond vibe, like the original James Bond. Their food is very clean they eat. They either farm or still hunt all their food. I told you guys they're energy based, so they can't have nothing low vibration. Why did halal food just hop into my head? Halal food is blessed, more high vibrational. I know people that eat halal food that wouldn't eat anything else. It sounds similar to that, but yeah, I'm gonna continue the story because that just came out of nowhere. Because now I'm thinking, did Zaire Namtar teach the people that? Like, is that how halal people started eating halal? And other races and cultures and traditions are very similar. I wonder if that all came from, you know what, let me get back to the video. I'm about to be down another rabbit hole. God. So if you missed any of my lives, I tell you guys that I've been fascinated with the supernatural and history since I've been a kid. I'm telling you, as long as I was able to remember. 5, 6, certain things wasn't sitting right with me. So imagine me being in school and you teachers out there was given a curriculum by whoever filled with lies for children. Like literally go out your way to create lies for kids. So then Rich asked about the soft reveal. You guys been wanting to know, are vampires doing a soft reveal? And of course my answer was no, but you know, he was a little bit more detailed about it. Senora said, Zaire and Namtar are not that coordinated. They're bored, not bold. There's a difference. That's why there's permanent whispers in myth and history. Just enough in there to stay hidden and seem like they're fiction. But Senor M said we are not a threat. People can't do anything to him, so there's no need. So I thought it was interesting when Rich asked him was he there during Sodom and Gomorrah. And he said the ash is of his blood, not of his lungs. Love how cryptic our boy is. Amazing. Where is Netflix at? If they don't make this into a series, I'm gonna be mad. And let me add on another thing. Rich did touch on this, but I also want to let you guys know I'm also very spiritually protected. I come from a very old family, guy. Very spiritual, very protected. A long line. So trust me, I'm good. Since my video is super long, I'm gonna have to end it here anyway. So if you like content like this, supernatural, cryptic, paranormal, go ahead and engage from the bottom up. So repost, but you don't really technically have to repost. Just save it. It just helps the algorithm. Save, comment, like, and of course follow me because I know you didn't do that yet. I'm Cube of the Lore. This is Forbidden Lore. And as always, TikTok, it's only for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly, hypothetically speaking. All right, gang, I'm gonna give y'all a call back because it's about to get weird. Part 18, interview with the vampire, Rich B, and Senora M, Zaire Namtar edition. All right, y'all, so I'm back with my recap from Rich B's interview with Senora M. I'm sorry I took a few days off, y'all. So Rich asked Senora M a series of questions. A lot of questions we want to know, a lot that we didn't even know we wanted to know. So I'm happy he asked him a lot of these questions. Before I get into the questions, I don't know if I told you guys, but me and Rich are planning a live stream soon. So keep checking back for that. Dates will be dropping soon. I had a lot of questions for Senora M, as well as my community. So as the veil is lifting, we need to take full advantage of it. Senora M is not going to be around forever. So make sure you don't miss out on that live. We will post about it though. Okay, back to the story. All right, first question Rich B asked Senora M. Atlantis, real, fake, like what's the deal with Atlantis? And you guys know Senora M talks in metaphors, similes, haikus. The man damn near is a rapper. So bear with me, because you guys know I don't speak like this. But I want to tell you exactly how Rich said it, because Senora M talks in poems. That's why I know he's an ancient being with wisdom. Because who speaks like this anymore? Right, enough trolling. Because who trolls Senora M? Am I okay? He said, yes, Atlantis is real. It's more of like a consciousness though. Senora M said it was a pact between memory and power. He said Atlantis fell because those that held wisdom sought dominion over stewardship. Temples didn't collapse from the flood alone, but from the betrayal of purpose. That's deep, y'all. Real deep. Damn, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's a lot of things we already knew. Atlantis started up, above ground. Somehow they ended underground. And everybody turned into some form of fish person, mer person, aquatic animal, creature, entity, I don't know. Because I do know there's way more than just mermaids and sirens in that water, right? But it sounds like a lot of backstabbing that was going on. Where's Aquaman when you need him? I don't know what was going on with the ancestors, but there was a lot of betrayal left and right, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of take your wife energy. A lot of men in those books were actually sleeping with each other's wives. Like, what was going on? I mean, it happens today, but we a little different. We care about each other a little bit more, right, y'all? Is there anywhere that we wasn't betrayed as people or try to do each other dirty? Because why is the city underwater now? It clearly was a big deal, because its name is still on our tongues after all these centuries, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. Alright y'all, my video is getting long, so follow me to the next part so I can reveal the rest of the question. If you like content like this, don't forget to engage from the bottom up. Like, comment, repost, share, follow, all that. I'm Cube of the Lore. This is Forbidden Lore. And I'm gonna give y'all a call back later because shit's about to get weird. And as always, TikTok, this is all allegedly and hypothetically speaking. Part 19. Rich B, Senora M, Interview with a Vampire, Zaire Numtar edition. Alright y'all, I'm gonna get right into it. Y'all know I'm a yapper, I'm sorry. So I left off at Atlantis, right? Atlantis sinking, Atlantis is real. But y'all still will be in the comments big. Atlantis is not real. I don't care. So the next question Rich asked Senora M was about alien abductions. And you guys know my ears perked up immediately. Because if you guys follow me, you guys know I've talked about that. I have my own alien experience. Was I abducted? That's up in the air still. It was almost maybe a year ago. Almost a year ago now. Now I'm here with you guys doing supernatural content. So I don't think they're a coincidence no more. If we didn't get into that story, we could get in another time. This is how the craft looked, but let's get into that another time. So Senora M told Rich B, not all is what it seems when it comes to those abductions. Abduction. Like what am I pronouncing, y'all? Alien abductions. Damn. Over here, tongue twister. So Senora M told Rich some are experiments and others are initiations. A few are mistakenly awakened because they come from lineages not of this planet or not of this plane, he said. And some are there just doing their research, like that Barney and Betty story I told you guys. So I thought that was very interesting. Y'all, I always thought that I come from like an alien species. And like this since a kid too. Never thought I was from this planet. And I always seem to know or remember things I shouldn't know. But let's move on to the next question. Can Zaire Numtar take spouses? Senora M says yes, deeply. Again, y'all, you know how he speaks in those metaphors. So I'm going to try to say it as best as I can. I also want to do my recaps in my own voice, my own way. So make sure you guys go to Rich B's page if you guys want to see the full video. But Rich B basically says intimacy is important to them. They are very selective. And it's a sacred act of energy. It's not just energy, it's actually remembering together. So if you know me in life, I don't even play like that. I always would tell you guys that is a transfer of energy. To lay down with somebody, you taking in them and they're taking in you. That's why you guys transform into your significant other and y'all become similar, or sometimes just one. Sometimes it could be a good thing, sometimes it could be a bad thing. But yeah, I don't play like that. I don't mix my energy with nobody I feel like don't match or mesh well with me. But then again, this could be the part of me that remembers. So yes, they do have spouses and mates. Rich also asked him about children. He says there's a few children, some have children. But he said it's only when the memory resonates strongly. In the blood, of course. You guys know the blood holds memory. We talked about that. He said the blood cannot be forced. Senora M said the breath of a willing soul cannot be forced, only echoed. That's a lot. Alright y'all, my video is getting very long. Follow me to the next part. If you like content like this, please engage from the bottom up. Repost, share, comment, like, and of course follow. I'm Cube of the Lore. This is Forbidden Lore. And as always, TikTok, this is all allegedly, hypothetically speaking, of course. Y'all, go ahead and call me back because... Actually, I'm going to call y'all back because it's about to get weird. Part 20, Rich B, Senora M, Interview with a Vampire, Zaire Numtar edition. Okay, y'all, we left off as the kids in the family. We already discussed they can have spouse. They pick their spouse. They are very selective. Some have kids. It is rare, but to me, it sounds like the kids got to choose if they want to be here through their souls. So it sounds very deep. And now it makes sense of why not all vampires can have kids or vampires can turn other people. Makes a lot of sense. It's not very possible. Very rare. But I've been telling you guys that. So go back and go watch that Forbidden Lore vampire content in my playlist because, yeah. Because when he said vampires, families, anybody else think of My Little Vampire? The mom, the dad, the whole family. This movie was iconic. But they also hid in plain sight. You guys know they put a little truth in those myths, so pay attention. So next, Rich asked Senora M, is there anything in history you can do to collaborate this story? like any historical figures. Of course, Leonardo da Vinci of all people. Senora said, Leonardo wasn't just an artist, y'all. He was a vault of memory. In this painting, The Last Supper, Leonardo hid a bull in the painting, and it wasn't by accident. They're just signs that's left in case, certain people remember, or the ones that's supposed to remember will remember when they see it. And people put Easter eggs in a lot of different things. They've been doing it for centuries. So this makes a lot of sense, actually. Because why putting something hidden in the painting? Even that painting of Mary in Mexico, or a blanket, it said in her eye, there's a whole nother picture. We'll talk about that another time too. Leo didn't paint from imagination. He painted from memory. I thought it was very interesting because think of Leo drawing the Last Supper in a painting. Leo was born in 1452, in April to be exact, and passed May 2nd, 1519. So how could he remember that happened 33 AD? If y'all want me to do the math for you, that's 2,000 years different. Around 1900, 1990, something like that. But around 2000 if you want to round it up. And Rich looked up this information about the secret in the painting, the bull. And he said a lot of people have collaborated this story. Of course, we can't see it. But I thought something was super interesting, guys, about this painting. Why I think this is true and Leo really remembered from his memory. Why did Leo put these three up here, these three doors in the painting? And our pyramids are set up just the same way. Here's India, here's Indonesia, here's Egypt at the top right, and Mexico. So I thought it was very interesting. Either Jesus was in one of these temples in this land, or he was in a similar pyramid. But I thought it was so interesting and detailed how Leonardo added these same exact doors. The middle one being obviously bigger and the two side doors being smaller. Let me let y'all screenshot this real quick. So I'm gonna just stop there to the next part, y'all. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. I know me and Rich been dropping bombs on y'all, but this is necessary. If you like content like this, creepy, supernatural, paranormal, even cryptic, make sure you engage from the bottom up. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. I'm Cube of the Lore. This is Forbidden Lore. And as always, TikTok, this is only entertainment purposes only. It's all legend, hypothetically speaking. Y'all go ahead and give me a call back, because the shit is about to get weird. Interview with a Vampire, Part 21. Rich B, Senora M, Zaire Namtar edition. Alright, y'all. So I left off at Rich B actually being connected to Leonardo da Vinci's painting. And maybe even his line. You never know nowadays how deep this story is getting. De Leone Torres, they run deep. That's called gangbanging where I come from, but hey. So Rich actually spoke to Senora M about the Garden of Eden, which y'all know we was all made to believe that's where everything started, with Adam and Eve. So the scriptures actually point out something older than this. Rich said in Isaiah 14:12 was talking about the fall of Lucy. How you have fallen, O morning star, you have weakened the nations. But y'all, me and Rich had the same exact thought. As he's saying it, just jumped into my brain. What nations? It wasn't supposed to be people, right? It wasn't supposed to be nations or nothing before Adam and Eve. They started it. Remember, fruit, snake, garden. Where did nations come from? And more people, huh? So that's not where it started? Why y'all tell us that story then? Just lying to lie again, y'all. Senora M then points him to Ezekiel 28. There was a radiant being, a guardian of Eden, walking among stone and fire. He traded, he governed until pride cast him down in front of the rulers. I'm paraphrasing, of course, so please go back to Rich's video if you want to hear exactly how it said. Y'all know I only could remember so much. But yeah, what? Rulers? Rulers of what? There wasn't supposed to be no rulers. No nations, no people, nothing. Adam and Eve is first, right? He was raised to believe these two people started it all. If you think about it, it's kind of laughable. Like if you're a logical person, that doesn't make any logical sense. I'm a math guy, y'all. So if the math is not mathing, y'all done lost me. 1 + 1 = 2. So then when y'all throw other things in the equation, like, oh, Adam and Eve had 2 sons, Cain and Abel, one unalived the other. So then you telling me there's 3 people on earth? 3 left. How did everybody else get here? How did I get here from them 3 people? So are you trying to say we're all related? Because all our DNAs don't match up. And some of our DNA is not even of this planet. It's unknown. They don't even know where these species come from. What about the people that's Neanderthal, Cenovon? Those come from them Lucy and those type of lines. Many questions and not enough answers. So the Bible basically said before Adam and Eve, there was nations, rulers. I don't know, but there clearly was a lot going on. and they keep it hidden for some strange reason. They don't want us to know who we are. Like I always tell y'all, the veil is lifting. It's cool. They can't lie to us forever. We know what's going on. Okay, before this video gets too long, meet me in the next part. That'll be 21. So we can dive a little bit more into this next part Rich talked about. Because this was very, very interesting, very eye-opening, and very almost spiritually awakened. If you like content like this, make sure you engage from the bottom up. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that. And of course, follow me, because I know you didn't do that yet. I'm Cube of the Lore. This is Forbidden Lore. And as always, TikTok. This all allegedly and hypothetically speaking, of course. I'm going to give y'all a call back later, because it's about to get weird. Interview with a Vampire, Part 21. Rich B, Senora M, Zaire Namtar edition. Alright, y'all. So I left off at Rich B actually being connected to Leonardo da Vinci's painting. And maybe even his line. You never know nowadays how deep this story is getting. De Leone Torres, they run deep. That's called gangbanging where I come from, but hey. So Rich actually spoke to Senora M about the Garden of Eden, which y'all know we was all made to believe that's where everything started, with Adam and Eve. So the scriptures actually point out something older than this. Rich said in Isaiah 14:12, was talking about the fall of Lucy. How you have fallen, O morning star, you have weakened the nations. But y'all, me and Rich had the same exact thought. As he's saying it, just jumped into my brain. What nations? It wasn't supposed to be people, right? It wasn't supposed to be nations or nothing before Adam and Eve. They started it. Remember, fruit, snake, garden. Where did nations come from? And more people, huh? So that's not where it started? Why y'all tell us that story then? Just lying to lie again, y'all. Senora M then points him to Ezekiel 28. There was a radiant being, a guardian of Eden, walking among stone and fire. He traded, he governed, until pride cast him down in front of the rulers. I'm paraphrasing, of course, so please go back to Rich's video if you want to hear exactly how it's said. Y'all know I only can remember so much. But yeah, what? Rulers? Rulers of what? There wasn't supposed to be no rulers. No nations, no people, nothing. Adam and Eve is first, right? He was raised to believe these two people started it all. If you think about it, it's kind of laughable. Like if you're a logical person, that doesn't make any logical sense. I'm a math guy, y'all. So if the math is not mathing, y'all done lost me. 1 + 1 = 2. So then when y'all throw other things in the equation, like, oh, Adam and Eve had 2 sons, Cain and Abel, one unalived the other. So then you telling me there's 3 people on earth? 3 left. How did everybody else get here? How did I get here from them 3 people? So are you trying to say we're all related? Because all our DNAs don't match up. And some of our DNA is not even of this planet. It's unknown. They don't even know where these species come from. What about the people that's Neanderthal, Cenovon? Those come from them Lucy and those type of lines. Many questions and not enough answers. So the Bible basically said before Adam and Eve, there was nations, rulers. I don't know, but there clearly was a lot going on. They keep it hidden for some strange reason. They don't want us to know who we are. Like I always tell y'all, the veil is lifting. It's cool. They can't lie to us forever. We know what's going on. Okay, before this video gets too long, meet me in the next part. That'll be 21. So we can dive a little bit more into this next part Rich talked about. Because this was very, very interesting, very eye-opening, and very almost spiritually awakened. If you like content like this, make sure you engage from the bottom up. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that. And of course, follow me, because I know you didn't do that yet. I'm Cube of the Lore. This is Forbidden Lore. And as always, TikTok. This all allegedly and hypothetically speaking, of course. I'm going to give y'all a call back later, because it's about to get weird. Be on part 22, y'all. Rich B, Senora M. Interview with a Vampire? Nah, Zaire Namtar. So where did I leave off at? Oh, I left off telling y'all there was rulers and nations before Adam and Eve. I'm sorry to ruin some of y'all day. You guys believe everything you told, everything you see. But yeah, there was a lot more going on than you guys know and understand. And that goes for me as well. I'm trying to understand as much with you guys too, but there's a lot that they hide, they lie, they mix around with myth and lore. So it's hard to understand what's true and what's not true, guys. So there been people here way longer than Mr. Adam and Miss Eve. Maybe they weren't the people we are today. They're probably more angelic or supernatural beings, but they weren't regular at all. I mean, if y'all watch my video, I basically told y'all Adam was a giant. So that means Eve was probably a giant. That makes sense. But angel and a person bred together, and that's why the giant was so big, because it was already big, which created the Nephilims. This is just a theory, guys. I'm just throwing some things out there. Think piece. But all right, let's get back to recapping the story. Let me give y'all some tea on Eden. So I don't know if y'all thought about this, make sure you watch Rich's video too, right after mine, because he does explain Eden was just a garden in Eden. So why don't we talk about the rest of Eden? I think that's so interesting. Like, everybody's obsessed about this garden, but not about the actual city. It clearly had to be a powerful place. Can't just be with fruit. Shit, my family's from the Caribbean. We have all these fruits outside, plus more. So it was said that Eden was a realm of light, a realm of law, and otherworldly inhabitants. Rich had a great point about you supernatural Karens. It's okay to be a skeptic, but when you get on this good app claiming you know everything, you read it all, you know it all, I'm already over it. Like, do you guys wake up and just want to argue with people in the comments? The Bible is the most supernatural book ever probably written. And the first one I read, that's probably why it was so interesting to me as a kid. Because every Sunday going to Sunday school, it was lit. Until the Sunday school couldn't answer certain questions for me, I was over it. Like, she didn't know where dinosaurs came from. She said it wasn't in the Bible. And Adam and Eve was a family of 4, turned to family of 3. Then she couldn't explain nothing after that. I was good off of it. Yes, stories about supernatural entities, people with power, literally heroes and villains. If this isn't a supernatural book, I don't know what to tell y'all. They putting it right in our face. It's hilarious to me. They even got coloring books. Come on, y'all. They got action figures. I remember having a Moses toy as a kid. Some of these I don't agree with. But y'all see where a lot of these names and insults come from. Judas, Jezebel. I don't know about Delilah. Don't do Delilah like that. I'm not sure about Delilah, but I feel like y'all too harsh on Delilah. Whether you're religious or not, you have to agree some things don't add up. Some things make sense more than others. Okay, y'all know I'm a yapper and the video's getting too long. So meet me in the next part. I can tell you guys about the angels that still was doing their jobs and still are to this day. I'm Cube of the Lore. This is Forbidden Lore. And as always, TikTok. This is all allegedly, hypothetically speaking. I don't know anything. All right, I'm gonna call y'all back later because this story's about to get weird. Part 23, gang gang. On my Rich B, Senora M interview with a vampire? Nah, it's Zaire Namtar. All right, where I left off, y'all, Rich was dropping some bars on us. Had a message for you supernatural Karens, message for skeptics, message for believers. What y'all don't understand is me and Rich believe in God. That's first and foremost. We were kids raised like that. 2 Brooklyn boys. Random and off topic, but anybody notice how jacked Rich is? Rich, you're swole. How much you live, bro? Not every angel fell. Not every angel was a watcher. Some remained faithful to their task and their job. So y'all think of them as like, maybe HR is goody two-shoes. The first batch of employees didn't work out. They had to terminate. They had to let go. But there's always those goody two-shoes at the job. They'll do everything they're said, do everything they're told. Don't even matter if they're tired, it's out of their scope, they go out their way. Not saying this is them. I'm just saying some angels had nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with those watchers, nothing to do with the fallen. They were doing what they're told, and they were soldiers. Point blank in the period. This is my interpretation, by the way. I advise all of you guys to go watch Rich video so you guys can have your own take. But this is my recap. So yes, y'all, most of these angels are still doing their job today. You might have walked past one today in human form, you don't know. Pay attention. Their job was to not interfere, to witness, make sure things are going smoothly. That's until the fires of Sodom and Gomorrah. It's forced those angelic beings to make a choice during that time of destruction. And if you think about it logically, if we see like a jailhouse of criminals burning down, obviously we know not all those criminals are bad. Not all of them did anything. Sometimes wrong place, wrong time. And that's kind of how Sodom and Gomorrah was. So you guys tell me you're not going to help those people? Not going to even save a few if you can? Children? It makes sense. If you're an angelic being, that's how you would think. You care about people, places, things, history, nature, life in itself. So I definitely believe some flew down to save a few people, creatures, entities. I don't know. The Zaire and Namtar are not fallen angels, y'all. The Zaire and Namtar are not demons. They were rescued by angelic hands during the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah. Transformed, sealed, and remembered into beings. And no quote-unquote vampire. We made that up, which y'all know that already. That's our word, not theirs. And of course, Senora M already spoke about there's some good and some bad. That's within everything in the world. Some feed on good energy, some feed on bad. Just repeating it for the people in the back. I see a lot of comments. That got me repeating myself at this point. Rich had a good point. He said just because something is other doesn't make it evil. That hit a nerve. Alright, y'all, my video getting too long, so I'm gonna call y'all back tomorrow, give y'all the rest of this tea. But if you don't wanna wait, go ahead and head to Rich's page so you can go watch the video yourself. I'm Cube of the Lore, this is Forbidden Lore, and if you like content like this, make sure you engage from the bottom up. That's like, comment, subscribe, all that. And of course, follow, because I know you didn't do that yet. And as always, TikTok, this is all allegedly, hypothetically speaking, of course. Alright, y'all, I'm gonna call y'all back tomorrow. This is about to get weird. Part 24. Rich B, Senora M, Interview with a Vampire? Nah, Zaire Namtar edition. Okay, y'all, we left off at just because something seems other or is other doesn't make it evil. Just because we were taught something doesn't make it accurate. Just because we have faith doesn't mean we shouldn't question. The Zaire Namtar hold memory, and they are angelic touched. This is a lineage arose from the ash of Sodom and Gomorrah. They were saved to remember what the world forgot. The Bible speaks of kings before Adam, so some stories weren't lost, they were hidden. And you guys always ask, why can't we know the truth? What's the big deal? What's so bad if they all tell us the truth? If something stays hidden long enough, people will forget. The goal is to forget, remember that. But their key is history, the real history. I believe they even hold the keys to helping us unlock ourselves. I don't think it's an accident that they say we only use 10% of our brains. And then to add to that, your frontal lobe isn't even fully developed till 25. And then only about 5 or 10% of the ocean has been discovered, or explored, I should say. And we are 99% water. Interesting. A lot of dots is connecting. All of that isn't a coincidence. It isn't an accident. We all come from something much older than we understand, than we comprehend, that we even know. You're not gonna tell me science understands. With such advanced technology that they had back in those days, it's beyond their reach. I don't know, guys. I'm a numbers guy. You know, I'm very logical. And the math isn't mathing. Seems like a lot of covering up, a lot of hiding, and what Senora M is lining up with the stuff we can research and what he's saying, as well as it just makes more sense in your spirit, you know? So we just need to learn as much as we can from him and Rich, because we don't have forever. He don't have forever, but we definitely have a short period of time that we're gonna have contact with him. So within this short period of time, let's grow together. Let's learn as much as we can and really make the supernatural world known. Cause I'm tired of it being a secret, y'all. Tired of having these conversations in private. Alright, y'all, don't forget, if you like content like this, don't forget to engage from the bottom up. Repost, like, share, comment, all that. I'm Cube of the Lore. This is Forbidden Lore. And as always, TikTok, this is all allegedly, hypothetically speaking, especially for you supernatural and paranormal Karens. All right, y'all, call me back later and let me know what y'all think about this. All right, peace. Part 25, Interview with the Vampire? Nah, Interview with the Zaire Namtar. Rich B, Senora M, edition. Okay, guys, so Rich B and Senora M said history was written by people that wasn't there. And let me break that down for you. Because of course, history was written by people that wasn't there. Because if they was there, they wouldn't be recording. I mean, they could be documenting though, right? For the next historian. Anyway, because technically historians come right after history. So what Senora M meant by that was the ones that's shaping our understanding of the past. The historians today, they was never given that calling, never given that job for memory and to remember. Senora M said they have no spiritual or ancestral connection. So you technically couldn't be a historian, which makes actual logical sense in my brain. Senora M said they didn't inherit the trauma or walk the ground where silence still screams. Whew, that's eerie, y'all. I love how Senora M talks. So cryptic. He said it didn't feel the sacred weight of a forgotten name. He said it wasn't called to remember. And like I said, it was never their job. The Zaire Namtar holds history that God doesn't want us to forget. They are angelic touched, so they come from God. And they have a better and deeper understanding. Senora M cares so much about memory because it is sacred currency. That's better than money. Think about it. If you hold knowledge, secrets, and information that's forgotten to the world, you're a step ahead. You're rich in the world. You know exactly what to do. Because everything just keeps repeating. It's forever a cycle. Some remember, some don't. It's like the soul's proof of evidence. Senora M said, to forget is to not move on. And it's a direct disconnection to our power. Senora M said, memory is like a lighthouse, y'all. It's lights that go around, keep the shadows from returning. If you can forget your name, they can rename you. If you forget your pain and your traumas, they can sell it back to you. Memory is what keeps a being whole and technically keeps people from being erased. We know many times throughout history, people were tried to be erased or they tried to erase them. Even today, we find out more truths every single day. Imagine growing up and what we knew about Christopher Columbus today was not flying in that classroom. Y'all know we wasn't having it. But of course they try to alter memory. And whoever, whatever being, wasn't letting it happen. So it's one of those things like, hey, you guys remember what Christopher Columbus did? That's not what he did. He never discovered America. What? Alright guys, before my video gets too long, I'm gonna end it there. If you like content like this, supernatural, cryptid, paranormal, go ahead and engage from the bottom up. Repost, share, comment, like, subscribe, all that. And of course, follow me, because I know you didn't do that yet. I'm Cube of the Lore. This is Forbidden Lore. Make sure you guys check out my YouTube channel as well. That is Cube of the Lore as well. I'm sorry, Cube of Lore, where I'm going to make sure I transfer all of this content in case if you guys miss it or you guys want to watch it all in package in bulk. And as always, TikTok, this is all allegedly hypothetically speaking, of course. TikTok is only for entertainment purposes only. All right, I'm going to give y'all a call back later because it's about to get weird. Part 26, interview with a vampire, Rich B and Senora M. But this time it's going to be a little different. Instead about the Zayam Namtar, we are going to hear Senora M's take on legendary vampire, Saint Germain. So I know a lot of y'all been asking questions, wanted to know what Rich B thinks about these other vampires, especially Saint Germain. Rich, I've seen the question a million times. I have seen the question a million times, but I don't have direct contact with Senora M. Y'all need to understand that. Rich has direct contact as well as direct contact to the lawyers. They will not be talking to me unless I'm signing that paperwork. And that's perfectly fine. I have no issue just speaking just to Rich. I think it's just dope that Senora M even sees these videos. So I want to just do my best to recap the story and report back to you guys properly. Because y'all do know I'm like a supernatural reporter, right? So I believe I talked about Saint Germain before. Check my Forbidden Lore vampire series out if you didn't. There's a lot of vampire content in there. It's up at the top. Scroll through all my playlists. So Senora M said, the count is real, y'all. He really did exist. Senora M said he walked freely between courts and centuries. Was Saint Germain immortal? No, according to Senora M. But he also already said, nobody and nothing's immortal. He said if you pour water over stone for 1,000 years, it will begin to crumble. I just always thought that. Nothing lives forever. Everything just ages differently. Just the same way trees can live for hundreds and thousands of years. Other things, entities can as well. Senora M said he did have powers, but Senora M doesn't think he's of the Zaire Namtar. So he could be just a whole different creature entity. Because you know, multiple creatures entities do drink blood, y'all do know that, right? So he may be just getting them confused. Or he could be of the Rakashun or the Elohim. There's a lot of different, you know, y'all know what I mean. Senora M says he was much more of a wanderer than an actual guardian, which makes sense. He didn't seem like he had like a job or like a purpose. Not saying I know him or know his family or know, past the legends in the lore, but I haven't heard he done really anything positive or really no negative. It gave wandering, I don't know. People will report they seen him down the street in a quarter. 30 years later, they see him at the bar, looking the same way. I don't think he just really was bothering anybody. I don't know, I could be wrong. What y'all think? Senora M already said New Orleans is a very special place. He said it's like a cracked mirror between realms and blood echoes in New Orleans. So it's a very special, powerful, secret place with a lot of different entities and creatures. Some say they was there in New Orleans before everybody else, since the beginning of time. Before my video gets too long, guys, if you like content like this, engage from the bottom up. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. And of course, follow me, because I didn't know you didn't do that yet. I'm Cube of the Lore. This is Forbidden Lore. Check out my channel on the tube if you like content like this as well. And that is actually Cube of Lore. CUBEOFLORE. And as always, TikTok, this is all allegedly hypothetically speaking. I don't know. This is just for entertainment purposes only. I don't know Saint Germain. I don't know nobody. I don't even know who Senora M is. Yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments and just call me back because this shit is getting weird, y'all.